Hey guys, this is Rosita, your go-to vocal and language coach here on takelessons.com. Alright, so I want to talk about singing. And singing is such a difficult instrument to master. Now, that's not to start off, to intimidate you guys. I will explain why. Because regardless, if you can speak, you can sing. You're already halfway there. You're more than halfway there. But, singing does involve just a little bit more, just a smidget. Now, think about it. What other instrument is housed in the body? So for that same reason, that is why it's also the most difficult to master. Think about it. What other instrument are you expected to play without able to see and touch it? In a piano, with a piano, you can touch a key and you can expect a certain sound to come out of it. But with singing, we are required to play an instrument, most of which we cannot see or touch. And not only that, the voice is the only instrument that simultaneously build while we are playing it. So as we are practicing our singing, it expands, it strengthens. Now, by build, I'm also referring to the strengthening and stretching of our vocal muscles and other muscles, not only in the larynx, but the rib cage, the abdomen, the pharynx, the oral cavity, etc. Voice building also consists of increasing vital lung capacity so that we have the necessary fuel to make the sound. The learning of playing this instrument, part of this process is so complicated in that we are coordinating muscles in many parts of the body. So to put it in simple terms, it's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same exact time. Yeah. As you can see, singing requires a highly athletic coordination, but not impossible. So I'm going to break 3 systems down that involves singing, because having knowledge of what's really happening inside you is in fact going to help you improve with your singing journey. Now, the breathing system, to put it simply, as we inhale, right, as air enters the lungs through the mouth, and the muscles of the rib cage, abdomen, and the back can, through contraction and release, and increase or decrease the size of the thorax, or the area where the lungs are. Now, when the volume of the thorax or lungs increases, the pressure in the lungs decreases. Now, when the volume of the thorax lungs decreases, then the pressure in the lungs increases. This is important to know because it has a direct influence on how the airstream coordinates with the vocal folds and to make the actual sound itself. Now, also known as phonation, if we want to get a little bit more technical. Now, the breathing system is also referred to as the generator. Well, there's my Bostonian that came out, the generator. Because it generates the power that we need to make the sound. All right, leading into the sound, let's talk about the sound making system on its own. Now, the system consists of the vocal folds and the airflow, which is generated by the lung pressure. This is referred to as the source of the sound, I guess you can say. Now, when the vocal folds are blown apart, by which the air is flowing from below, the vocal folds vibrate, creating a buzzing sound. Now, the system also consists of the muscles in the larynx, which can directly affect the length, the thickness, the proximity of the vocal folds to each other, and how much of the vocal folds actually vibrate. Now, all of these variables affect the pitch, the volume, the consistency, the register in which we sing, meaning the head voice, the chest voice, the mix. There are also muscles that house the larynx, which can indirectly affect the qualities of our sound. Which leads us to the next system, which is the resonance system. Now, resonance is a back and forth relationship. If you guys have watched my video, if you can speak, you can sing, I refer like a resonance to a woodwind instrument. I refer it to as a clarinet, actually. A B flat clarinet, to be exact. Now, the resonance, the relationship between the sound waves and the space in which they travel. Now, these vocal resonances are influenced by the movement and configuration of the tongue. I didn't see the lipstick there. This is why we don't do lipstick in the car, ladies, especially when we're rushing. The tongue, the soft palate, the lips, the jaw, the larynx, the pharynx, a bunch of other stuff. Now, these vocal resonators are responsible for articulation of the vowels and the consonants, regardless of what language or you speak or are going to sing. Now, sometimes the vocal resonators are referred to as the filter, because depending on the configuration of the vocal tract, certain parts of the sound wave gets boosted to reach the listener, and other parts that deaden and die off before they leave the body. Now, when certain harmonics get boosted, for example, when many higher harmonics are boosted, we generally perceive a brighter sounding voice. And when lower harmonics are boosted, we perceive a darker voice. So, if I'm talking high, or rather singing, it sounds lively and nice. But if I'm singing my chest voice, it's going to create that darker sound. All right, now this affects the overall body alignment. Now, the way the body is aligned from head to toe, people, it's going to affect your singing. It's going to affect everything. This is why we're going to sit straight, right? Sit towards like the edge of the chair, the shoulders back and down. All right, even when you are in practice, even when you're in class, everywhere. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first, and we're going to want to slouch. Let's try out to do that, because that also affects our breathing. Now, it is important to know and practice a physical alignment that allows the breathing, the sound making, the resonance systems to actually work in its optimal form. I mean, it is important to state that alignment does not refer to a position on a specific posture. Rather, it's meant to reflect a neutral states from which a person has flexibility and freedom. Now, again, I don't mean slouching. We're all guilty of it. But we want our bodies to be nice and aligned so we can feel free. I mean, we don't take into account that increased pressure in the thorax resulting from hunching could tempt the vocal folds to come together more firmly, and it's going to affect the way that we vibrate, and then we're going to get nasty sounds coming out of our mouth. I mean, I hope that it's obvious from, this brief explanation into the human voice that the vocal instrument is more than just some muscles in the back of the neck. Rather, the voice requires coordinating a few major systems, which are all compromised of many muscles. In the neck, rather, the voice requires coordinating a few, requires not only muscles, but bones, tendons, ligaments, everything. Because everything is connected in our body. Now, I know this has been, a longer lecture than most. But again, it is important to understand how your sound is created so we can improve on it. Now that I planted the seed, now it's in your brain. You're like, oh, I should probably sit a little bit more straight and, breathe using our mouth rather than our nose, because scientific fact, the mouth is the biggest hole in your face, so therefore we're able to take more breath in and also out rather than the nose. All right, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to contact me. Leave your questions on the comment section below. If you guys are watching this on Take Lessons, don't hesitate to contact me as well. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Also check out my series, Beginning Spanish for Medical Professionals, Beginning Japanese for Business Professionals, and for you anime fans, check out some of the anime karaoke to help you pronounce Japanese correctly. All right, see you guys. Tane.